We welcome everybody here live at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, getting set to go green here in the state of Georgia for race number 3 of 12 here for tonight. So we're nearing the quarter mark after tonight. Therefore, we're inching closer to that halfway point of the regular season. So it should be a lot of fun to see on how this is all going to turn out. But for the meantime of that, first time we are going to see this track car combo, and debuting itself new here is the new Atlanta Motor Speedway in the ACOG league. So not too many drivers here tonight and present, so therefore we should have a humble and nice race to be displayed here for tonight. Nothing too menacing in terms of how this race will pan out to be for this one. But in the midst of all that, thank you all for tuning in here for tonight for this 68 lap event. Not a lot of drivers here for tonight, but hopefully it'll be a humble and plain old race to run here for this evening. Total looks like I'd see 18 drivers here in the session at the moment. So 68 laps will be logged into the books, and we'll have to see on how this will all go once we do take the checkered flag. But in the midst of all that, we're going to suit ourselves to the side, play the national anthem. So rise up and wave your hats as we salute our nation's colors. Back here live for the ACOG iRacing Silver Truck Series, getting set to go green in just a moment. Glad to get tune this in as everybody, sets themselves up here for tonight. Nothing too much to say in terms of how the race will pan out, because this is technically a new super speedway. So a lot of pack racing that's going to be put on full display for these 18 drivers here on the racetrack. So in the midst of all that, we'll pull ourselves into our qualifying order and see where everybody is out on the racetrack at the moment. 19 drivers so far in this session at the moment, as Dominic Howell in the 07 joins in as well. I'll put 19 drivers on the field. Currently watching 03 Hunter Collier making his ACOG debut here for tonight. So a fair amount of drivers making their ACOG debut. Actually, I think it's only Hunter Collier who's making his ACOG debut in that 03. He currently sits on top of the board. So great lap time by Hunter at the moment, but there's still more lap times being logged in. We're going to have to see on where everybody else is going to end up. See here, Harrison Chandler in the 68. Bernard Person, we saw him in the Cup event. 201 also on the racetrack, but Justin Johnson also on the racetrack as well. He works himself off of 2, so he's going to log one of his first laps. So Ryan Kwan, 91, working himself through 3 and 4, gathering up all that momentum to shoot it into his one and only lap. We'll log across the line. Kwan just doing a nice job, just maintaining ground and keeping himself right against that yellow line. Currently 14th, but I mean, currently listed 11th at the moment, but of course this is all going to transfer down. All that momentum and potential energy will pull itself through into turns 3 and 4. And off of the final corner, Ryan Kwan is going to cross himself, looks like, into 6th place. Kiloa Hankins actually takes the pole away from Hunter Collier. Good lap time by him. More lap times being logged in. You see 07 Dominic Howe here on the racetrack as well. Work himself right up off the corner. And is just probably going to call it a lap. So with 10 seconds remaining, that'll be it. Kiloa Hankins will be the pole sitter here for tonight. Congratulations to him. Full grid going to be displayed on the bottom of your screen. Go through the field and see on where everybody sits themselves as we get set up for tonight. Congratulations to your pole sitter of Justin Johnson. So Justin actually snags the pole away from Hankins last second. Kiloa Hankins is going to be in 2nd place. Hunter Collier, we were just talking about him, one of the rookies here on the racetrack. Jason Spear, 019, also alongside Hunter Collier, another rookie. Harrison Chandler in the number 68 will be in the 5th position. Justin Adiconis in the 6th spot. Ryan Kwan and Bernard Person here round out row number 4. Garrett Hess in the number 81. Colt Perez in the number 27 here on the racetrack as well. So he is making this another part-time start. Sean Mitchell, another rookie in that number 89. Lewis Galvin right alongside of him in the number 3, making his ACOG debut this season. Dominic Howe, we've seen him time and time again. ACOG making one of his one-off starts. Nick Miller, last week's winner in that number 19. Maximus Molina, Jacob Dudai. Dudai coming off a great top 5 from last week. Henry Tabor and Matthew Klein round out 17th and 18th, and in last place is going to be Rafael Ruiz. We'll go through the points order as Miller, after his win at Pocono, is on top of the board. We'll have to see if he can keep himself up there. We see Woody in 2nd, only a point behind. Andrew Schulte also a point behind, or only a couple points behind. Menchu not present, nor is Hunter Johnson. Dudai is, though, has a chance to go ahead and pull himself into his 2nd spot. Field rolls themselves onto the back straightaway. The pace car will pick up to 2 lines of Justin Johnson and Hankins for 68 laps of racing. Nothing too much to be said. 1.54 mile racetrack. Of course, reconfigured to have more banking, but skinnier straightaways. Skinnier straightaways and as well as other things as well. Bigger banking to pull these cars around this new super speedway, we'd like to call it, into 3 and 4 for the final time. And that'll be it for that pace car as we set the field to the races. Here we go. The field will bunch themselves up. Green flag drops. Hess will drop himself to the apron and out of harm's way. We're going green here at Atlanta. Miller already smoking. Perez is also smoking as well. I have no idea what happened. In the midst of all that, Miller's, you know... Oh, Hagen's got turned! We'll keep it on the racetrack in green, but Miller will go on a pit road. Perez also looks like has a meatball flag, so... Already. A lot of contact being made through these first 2 laps. But not Hunter Johnson, but Justin Johnson in the 33 will lead them into 1. Yeah, not really sure what happened with Cole Perez and Miller. It looks like both of those drivers, unfortunate meatball flags on their machines, they're out of it. And Miller will not go back to back, so this is huge for Jacob Dudai to pull himself through and maybe take a points lead. Dudai currently sits 13th in line in a pack of his own with Rafael Ruiz. On the high side, here comes a challenger for that 33 of Justin Johnson. Up on the high banks goes the 03 of Hunter Collier. He wants to take the lead away, has a helper right behind 39, Justin Ataconis. 45, Maximus Molina, also present in this battle as well. They're looking 2-3 wide around each other as the 019 slightly on the apron. It's Jason Spear trying to make something happen there on that low side. Oh, he's sideways! We'll keep it on the racetrack. Good save by the 019, but this will lose a ton of ground for Justin Johnson. And to the front, Hunter Collier goes. Ataconis, he wants that outside line. He pulls himself right up alongside of Collier. He has a run through the front straightaway, and to the lead goes Ataconis. He drops himself down to the bottom. Gonna pick up that 03 for the time being, but Maximus Molina, one of the rookies here on the racetrack, he's working up with a run. He'll pull himself. Oh, bit of chain bumping there as Chandler will find the outside wall because of it. He gets booted out of the way, and Chandler still in the wall. Will lose the draft, unfortunately, as Ryan Kwan will sneak by. Well, we'll see if Chandler will be able to maybe latch onto the tail of this lead pack. But for the time being, unfortunately, bad omens for Chandler is going to lose him the draft here at the front. 89 of Sean Mitchell has worked himself inside of this top 5. Molina up to the high side. Big move to pull in front of the 201 of Bernard Person. They want to work themselves to the front, and they do so. So, here comes the 45. Oh, more trouble. Dominic Howe, I think, caught the apron. Slips up big time, and he loses the draft. Justin Johnson also slips up big time. And now these cars, even though it's a full throttle racetrack, there are still handling issues to be made. And you see there, the 33, ill-handling truck. He falls off pace. And the 019, Jason Spear, was all over the 45 of Molina. They worked that high side, or at least tried to. Both of them were unaligned, were not aligned though. And they both nearly collided off of turn number 4. They keep themselves straight for the time being. But up front though, first time we've seen Bernard Persson up front. Oh, there they go! Oh, big hit! Multiple trucks! Oh, that's the big one! At least half the field! Dudai's in it! 03 Collier! You got Jason Spear, Molina, Rafael Ruiz is in it. Oh, that took out the whole field! And 5 drivers, for sure, out of this event. Bernard Persson, Lewis Galvin, Hunter Collier, Jason Spear, Maximus Molina. All of them with meatball flags. And the big one, on lap number 12, strikes at Atlanta. Just netcode really caused that. And look at the drivers that piled in. Collier looks like door the 201. And everybody piles right behind. Right there. Wow. That's one of the bigger wrecks we've seen in ACOG. Dudai looks like escapes with very minimal damage. The only driver to really escape that with minimal damage. Pit road open this time by. Everybody gonna take a chance to go down on in. I want to see what happened with Cole Perez as well. Oh, what the heck? Oh, some awful looking netcode. We're left with only 11 cars on the lead lap now. Ataconis, Johnson, Kwan, Howe, Harrison. Round out the top 5, so... Hess, Ruiz, Hankins, Klein, Dudai, and Tabor. All on the lead lap. Tabor has a fair amount of damage, unfortunately. Or no, looks like he doesn't. He's gonna both work himself out, but... Green flag. Back up and away. Everybody single file for this restart for the time being. We go up and away, dude. 94. As Hess will go pick up Hankins. They're in that second lane, and look at them power around Ataconis and Garrett Hess to the front. Hankins. Trying to keep himself, you know, there. Stay himself present. You see the 07 to Dominic Howe. Also in that mix as well, but not even halfway through this race, and we've already eliminated more than half the field here tonight. Now we're trying to work that second lane. Justin Johnson on that red line. Leading the way for that bottom. Justin Johnson's doing a nice job of just maintaining ground. And to the high side goes Hess. Nice move there in front of Howe. Make that second lane work. Both of those drivers on edge. They work to the front straightaway. It's Hankins trying to push the 33 of Johnson to the front. He has that slight slip up. That cost him some time. Doing a fine job of just maintaining ground. He's still ahead of the 07. Just maintaining ground with the second lane. And Hess will pull that outside line forward, but Dominic Howe wants to say something of it. He drops himself down low. And for the lead, here comes Howe. Easily by the 81 of Hess. Pulls himself to the front, not necessarily clear, as Howe is going to drop himself to the apron. Out of harm's way. Emerge himself right back up the racetrack. Quan and company with Dudai will work themselves up high of that 07. '23 into the books. Hess doing a nice job of maintaining ground for the time being. But it's Justin Johnson who's putting up a big fight. Still on the bottom side of the racetrack. That apron is a sketchy spot though. What they do not want to see is somebody get sideways and end up spinning, unfortunately, so. Oh, Ruiz was sideways. Speaking of, Raphael sits inside this top 5, just maintaining ground for the time being. At 82, caught the truck in time to keep himself straight. He currently runs in 6th. But Justin Johnson, that inside line starts to power forward. Ryan Kwan also wants to be a part of this inside line, maybe. See Chandler there in the back. That 68 doesn't really want to make too much of a factor. Ryan Kwan, the 91, still third in line as Hankins wants to take a peek. Maybe looking 3 wide. Will go 3 wide down to the bottom side of the racetrack, and Justin will get split right through the middle. Actually, both Justins get washed up to the high side. And here comes Ruiz with a run. He's going to work himself down low. Hankins with company of that 33, Justin Johnson. They're going to pull themselves forward. Ruiz still staying stout for the time being, but that inside line is starting to fall apart. And Justin's going to cross him to the low side for the lead under Hankins. Nice move there, and Hankins will slot right behind the 33 of Justin. And they'll pull themselves 1 and 2. Oh, Hankins sideways. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and Hess is sideways. Ruiz checks up in the process, and both of them. Oh, now Ruiz is going to go around. Oh, that run that he had through the corner. Is going to drop Ruiz out of the pack, but we'll have Tabor and Klein to pick him up. And it's a top 3 pull away with Justin Johnson, Ataconis, and Hankins. Leading this this group of 4 is going to be Dominic Howe. You also have Dudai there as well. You got Garrett Hess. Got really loose. You're 3 and 4. That car falls off the pace, but top 6 all in an island of their own at the moment. They catch themselves to the rear of this front pack. So now it's a 6. Oh! How is sideways? That car rights itself forward. We keep green as Dominic Howe. Great save. And he keeps himself straight. Good heads-up maneuver by Jacob Dudai to keep off of that 07. But that was a near disaster. But up front, here we go for the lead. Justin Johnson, Ataconis, and Hankins will pick up Quan in the 91 in the process, but Dominic Howe, even though he nearly spun, keep himself forward and catches the tail end of this lead pack. Here comes Howe. .33 into the books. Matthew Klein out of harm's way. He works himself to the apron. Tabor actually, not really sure, will get himself forward. But for the time being, we cross halfway this time by. It's a 9-car pack all by themselves. As Ataconis lead for until 1 and 2. Everybody just, riding in line. No aggressive moves being made for the time being, but Hankins will pull out a line. That's not Hankins, excuse me, that's Justin Johnson. Will pull himself out of line. Make that outside line work. Question now is, when are they going to hit pit road? Ruiz saved the truck from spinning out, but unfortunately does go. Will probably be locked here in the next moments. It's a 7-car pull away as Chandler is left by himself. Dudai is going to go ahead and let by the 81 of Hess. That car slipped up big time through the corner. And Rafael Ruiz, the man who is inside of this top 5, he had a great run, but is going to go lapped as the field works himself to the low side. Oh, how? That's the 3rd time in a row Dominic Howe has snagged the apron. Nearly spun around, and Garrett Hess loses that front pack because of it. And Ruiz will merge in to this lead pack, but up front, Hankins and Justin Johnson still dueling out for this win. For the lead. We'll take it 3 wide, right to the bottom of the 19. Henry Tabor. Lots of blinking issues on this machine. Gonna go another lap down here in a moment, but that was a close call by the 07 and 81. Unfortunately, they both lose the front pack. Ruiz goes around Miller. And Tabor goes another lap down. Unfortunately, it's a 5-car pull away for the time being, but Hankins opens up the door for Ataconis. Will not take the bait to go down low just yet. And we still have a pit stop. Just keep that in mind. These drivers will have to pit sometime. Currently working on lap 30 of their run. So when these drivers are going to hit pit road, we actually have no idea. As Hankins is going to go up high. Gift Ataconis this lead for the moment. The Tabor there in the 36 also merges in line. Mackie Klein goes 2 laps down. Looks like he's taking a scheduled stop. But 8 cars all on the lead pack for the time being. Garrett Hess in the 81 is not too far of this pack. So he maybe have a shot, just maybe, to pull himself back onto the lead pack. But up front though, if I could even put these cameras right, Justin Johnson and Ryan Kwan. Leading the field by a moment. Everybody files themselves down to the bottom. We will probably initiate green flag stops here soon. As Quan takes it to the front. First laps he's led all night. And it might be all it takes. We'll have to see. Reminded that, I totally forgot we still have way more laps left in this event. Harrison Chandler will go one lap down. It'll put 7 cars on the lead lap now. As that's unfortunate for Chandler, he did get disconnected from that pack. We all keep ourselves single file for the moment as Ryan Kwan up front. Just maintaining ground so far. Hankins wants to go ahead and charge him on the high side. For the moment will be denied, as these tires are very much worn. Garrett Hess, who nearly lost the draft earlier, is up here in this pack. So all the drivers on your screen, except for Miller in the 19, here and present, as Hess will look under the 82 of Ruiz, not for position. Pull himself in front for the time being. Ruiz and Chandler both fighting to get a lucky dog and a free pass. So we'll see on who will receive it if we do see a caution come out. $20 laps to go. And Kwan has now settled the field down. Just up front, just maintaining ground. We've only had one caution so far. That was with a big wreck in turn 3 and 4. Matthew Klein, disconnection, looks like he drops out. So Kwan maintaining ground for the time being, not really too much to be said at the moment. But if we do have a caution, it'll put Harrison Chandler and Rafael Ruiz maybe into a shot of this win. We'll have to see though. Here comes the 94 of Dudai. Maybe trying to make something happen, but just nobody there in company. He's gonna go to the tail end of this pack. And that pack starts to discombobulate as well as 19 of Miller will move out of the way for the leaders. Ryan Kwan has been in victory lane multiple times. He's denied multiple people of their first win. Ataconis has been in victory lane before. Hankins has been in victory lane as well. We'll have to scroll all the way back to Jacob Dudai, the only driver on the lead lap who's yet to win in ACOG. Has a chance to do so here. 16 laps to go. It's been an exciting start to this event. But now the drivers calm themselves down as we edge toward the end of the event. Quan works himself up high. He's going to open up the door for Ataconis. And he'll take it to the front. So Quan does not want to lead this thing. Coming to 14 laps to go. Actually, we are on 14 laps to go now. Coming to 13. But Quan is going absolutely nowhere. And he falls out. These drivers maybe looking to pit this time by. Here we go. Pit road is open. And they slide on in. Maybe speeding off of Justin Ataconis. Oh, looks like Hankins. They both make contact, so all these drivers on in. 4 tires, I'm pretty sure, for everybody here on the racetrack. Somehow, nobody sped off of that event. As everybody on in for 4 tires and a fuel for their final time. 13 laps to go. And here comes Justin Johnson. Gonna lead the field on in. Tabor's gonna stay himself out as the field comes to a halt. The rest of the field will come down on in. This being led by Quan and Justin Johnson. They cannot overshoot their pit stalls or else it's game over for them. Now the field organizes itself on out as Hankins and Ataconis will take it to the top of the chart. Dudai looks like it does get disconnected, so it's only Hankins and Ataconis by themselves up front. Here comes Justin Johnson. Will not merge with these drivers. And as well as Dominic Howe and Ryan Kwan. So it's going to be a 2-horse race for this. Unless we see a yellow. And the difference is Kiloa Hankins, fuel only, 6.28 second pit stop, as well as Ataconis. Looks like Howe and Quan also tried to take 6 seconds of fuel. They did not go anywhere. And Dudai looks like fueled a bit too much, hence why he loses the drive. Oh, Hankins goes around, caution comes out. We were just talking about Kiloa Hankins. And the second caution of the night does, unfortunately, fall. And looks like that car was just too loose for the 72. For maybe a fuel-only stop. And that car, that truck, excuse me, got up from under him. This will put Harrison Chandler back on the lead lap. But for everybody else, man, looks like Ataconis elects to stay out, but everybody on in. Ataconis, man, that's a bad... I mean, that's an interesting call to stay himself out. Now the question is Ataconis maybe want to come in with tires? Because that car is going to be... That truck is definitely going to be ill-handling. So does he want to second guess it? There's only 8 cars on the lead lap. And that's a very interesting call. There's Hankins. Ruiz, unfortunately, will have to catch another caution to get another free pass. But back on the lead lap is Harrison Chandler in the 68. Could maybe turn his day around. This race has turned into an all-out sprint now. Where will the chips fall? And how will it all go? As Miller in the 19 trying to maintain his points lead over Dudai. But Dudai currently sits himself in 5th. He's going to gain some points, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. We'll just have to see. Skim through the field for the time being. "19 laps led for Ataconis, but decided to stay himself out on old tires. We will see if he can maintain ground and keep that 39 to the front. On that high side, it's Dominic Howe. Has led 2 so far. The question is, can he lead the last one? Ryan Kwan has led 12. Justin Johnson has led 11. The only person to really not touch the lead just yet is Jacob Dudai. But he only needs to lead 1 lap to just maybe eke out a win. Harrison Chandler too has yet to lead laps, but he's been laps down up until now. Pace truck is in. Green flag for Ataconis. Garrett has a bad restart there in that 81. He falls back. But we'll see what these older tires do to that 39 of Ataconis. And Kwan is just boxed in, nowhere to go. Howe to the front. Ataconis stays himself stout. As here comes Dudai. Does Justin Johnson maybe want to take a chance? Oh, clearing himself down to the bottom. He does so. Justin Johnson down low. And now it's up to Garrett Hess and Ryan Kwan to maybe make that outside line work. Never mind of it. That 94 falls back just a slight bit, and it opens up the door for Dominic Howe in the 07 And it's Jacob Dudai to push this 07. But they go nowhere. Ataconis, even though he has older tires, will keep himself committed for the time being. Hankins sneaks up right past those people on the lead lap. Who are laps down. This time by 3 laps of racing left. Howe chases the car up the racetrack. And they look to get a run on the 33. Justin Johnson. It's been a while since he's been in victory lane. Can he put that 33 in it? We'll just have to see. Justin pulls the block on Howe. Opens up the door for Ataconis. 2 laps of racing left. Everybody tightly knit and packed in as Dudai tries to push Dominic Howe forward. But down the backstretch, the 33 of Justin Johnson. Clear for the time being. It only takes one shot to change this game. Justin. Oh, the 07 goes around. White flag though. Dudai drops out. And it's Ataconis to maybe make a charge. Here he comes on the high side. But that pack is going to have a run. Ataconis blocks low. Ryan Kwan is probably not going to have a chance to maybe sneak up on these top 2. Here comes Ataconis. Justin's trying to throw a block. Here comes Kwan to the start-finish line. Kwan with a huge run. He pushes the 33 at the stripe. Justin Johnson wins it. Unbelievable. 2 weeks in a row of photo finish. This is a huge victory for the 33 of Justin Johnson. And he'll burn it down here in the front straightaway. Well-deserved victory. Full results on your screen. Johnson, Ataconis, Kwan, Hankins, Chandler round out the top 5. Dudai, Hess, and Howe round out the 6th through 8th on the lead lap. It's Ruiz, Tabor, 4 laps down, rounding out the top 10. Miller, Klein, Molina, Person, Spear round out the top 15. It's Collier, Mitchell, Galvin, and Perez round out the rest of the order. Still more to come here at the Atlanta 104. More racing to be done also this weekend, but we'll interview the top 3 and see what they have to say after tonight. Back here live at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll interview the top 3 here for tonight. What a race here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll sneak in Justin Johnson for an interview and see what he has to say after tonight. And into the booth goes that number 33, his first victory here in the ACOG iRacing League this season for Justin Johnson. Justin, huge victory here tonight. You won it by a smidge over Justin Adiconis, your fellow other Justin on the racetrack, as the Justins 1 and 2, but luckily you were the better one, and you're sitting here in victory lane.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a fun race. I really enjoyed that one. I knew when I got to the lead, I think during lap 65, 66, I would just have to block the rest of the race, and it played out perfectly. So glad I did that.
Yep, that is right. I mean, a late race restart coming down to the end. Pack racing here at Atlanta, of course. But you said once your vision got clear there with around lap 65, how did it all play out to your favor?
Well, I mean, me and Quan, we were working together the whole race anyway. And so basically, when I lap 65, I knew I just have to keep blocking Dom's run on the top. I knew he'd get by me eventually. And I did throw that late block coming to the white flag. I feel a bit bad for that. I didn't mean to cause that wreck. But it played out perfectly for me. And me and Quan, 1-3. Couldn't ask for a better race. I mean, 1-2 would have been better, but we'll take what we can get.
All right, bud. 10-4. Justin Johnson, first victory here tonight this season. Congratulations, man. That huge for that 33 in the point standings as well. Justin, before we let you go, any sponsors want to thank you for tonight?
Not really, just Quan. He was with me the whole race, same voice call, so yeah, I'm glad he was there. Definitely needed that push at the end.
All right, bud. 10-4. Justin Johnson rounds himself out in first place. Congratulations. We'll go ahead and see you in the next race.
All right, thank you.
And the second place goes to... oh, not second place. Oops, I need to go ahead. Second place of Justin Adiconis, the man who unfortunately received the butt end of that photo finish. Justin Adiconis comes home here in second, led 20 laps, but man, you were on older tires for that final run. You decided to stay yourself out for track position. It nearly worked, but unfortunately you just came up second after that push from Ryan Kwan. But Justin,
not really a huge fan of this new configuration at Atlanta, but it worked out pretty good tonight.
Now you run yourself out second here tonight. You led 20 laps throughout the whole entire race, but unfortunately a bit of teamwork just ganged up on you. That push from Ryan Kwan to Justin Johnson gifted him the win. But overall, I mean, we had that big wreck, of course, early in that race and that late end caution. But you mentioned it, the new Atlanta. I guess you don't like it. Why so? I'm curious.
I mean, it's not really like it's just kind of just another super speedway in my eyes. It's not really like a skill-based track in a way. Like, it's not like the old one where you kind of had to like save tires and work on the long run pace. You just kind of just run on the bottom, don't wreck, and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's right. But you ran yourself out second here tonight. Big for the points as well. So congratulations, man. But before we let you go, any sponsor want to thank you for tonight?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my boy Logan Cozy Drive Development. Gotta shout out Jackson Menchie for not showing up tonight. I don't know where he's at, but he probably would have wrecked me. So good he didn't show up, I guess. But yeah, these guys.
All right, by 10-4, Justin Adiconis rounds himself out in the second spot. We'll go ahead and see you next race, man.
Yep, thank you.
Into third goes Ryan Kwan in the 91 and makes his ACOG debut this season in the Truck Series, but he rounds himself out at top 5. A good finish for that 91. Not Justin Johnson, but Ryan Kwan. You were helping Justin through that race, and you gifted him the win. Congratulations for that top 3. Walk me through it.
Yeah, well, kind of got a little bit sent offline there by that wreck, but was very lucky to save it and not get more damage from it. And then I had Co come up behind me, gave me a big shot, really helped me catch back up to the 2. And, kind of running through my mind, I wanted to make it 3 wide, but too slim of a track to really make something happen. And I figured, might as well help the person who was working with me all race. So I just gave Justin Johnson the push there at the end to get the win.
Yep, that is right. That 91 rounds himself out in the third position here after 68 laps of racing. Of course, the first ever time ACOG has visited this new Atlanta. So, walk me through the process and how you were, controlling the race. You led 12 laps so far.
Yeah, it was pretty stressful. I mean, I didn't take tires in that first caution, so very loose every time you're out front, trying to just kind of feather the throttle, getting into the corner. But yeah, very narrow, really made it kind of difficult to make moves. And kind of once you got to the front, you could stay there unless you just got too many mistakes going on. But it wasn't too difficult, so it was a good race.
All right, about 10-4. Ryan Kwan rounds himself out in third. But before we let you go, any sponsors want to thank here for tonight?
I am poor, so no.
All right, about 10-4. Sponsor Ryan Kwan in that 91. He brings top threes and such. But congratulations, Ben. We'll go see you come next race.
Thank you.
That was Ryan Kwan in the number 91, and that'll end it off here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a victory for that 33 of Justin Johnson. A huge victory in terms of how it'll all play out in the points. But we'll have to see on where everybody will end themselves up after tonight. What a race to open up the Atlanta Super Speedway here in ACOG. Until next time, tomorrow night, Cup Series at Darlington. Should be a fun one to see on how that'll go. But we'll see you coming next time.